Inspired by our readings and discussions about everyday sexism by Laura Bates, we set out to prove that women still face discrimination in the workplace. We did so through a series of interviews with friends and family to connect with women of a variety of ages and fields.
First, we spoke with women currently or formerly in the workforce.
My name is Kathy Hargrove Hartman, and I am from Greensburg, Indiana, which is about an hour southeast of here in a smaller farming community. And I was born May 3rd, 1975.
Joanne Shields. I'm 50 years old. I grew up mostly in Indiana. I was born in Massachusetts, but most of my schooling was in Indiana.
Kim McConnell, 46, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
My name is Gretchen Distelhorst. I'm 76 years old, and I've lived here since I've been 8 years old.
Well, as a little girl, I think that was something that shifted for me quite frequently. But looking back on it, it always came back to just like helping sort of professions. They've always supported me in my goals. I don't know that they've always understood all of my goals fully, but they've always been there saying, okay, absolutely, keep going.
Wanted to join the Air Force. They said, you're absolutely not going to join the Air Force, and I was only 17 when I graduated, so that wasn't going to happen. I wasn't old enough.
I always wanted to be a nurse. They encouraged me to go to college and make my dreams come true.
It never was discussed. I just said I wanted to do it, and that was it.
So I'm a Butler graduate. Actually, I did my undergrad here and graduated from the College of Education.
First, I went to Anoka Vocational School and graduated with an LPN degree, and then I went to Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota, and graduated with my Bachelor's of Nursing.
I took business, classes, I guess. But I never took anything in the way of college preparatory.
I think the short answer is that I've been surrounded by people that are just willing to support me in a variety of ways.
Well, I got married. My husband and I had decided early on that we wanted to have children and we wanted somebody to stay home with the children. That was going to be me because his income was going to be greater than mine. And so he went to college, and as he went to college, I worked and supported him through his college days. And then when he graduated, I decided not to work full-time anymore. I thought it was more important to stay home with my kids.
The graphic shown displays the evolution of the pay gap between men and women. Although the gap has shrunk almost 20% since 1970, women are still earning an average of 22% less than men who do the same job.
Worked at a hospital, and then when Katie was a year old, I quit and stayed home with the children. And then when they reached junior high, I chose to go back to work, but I chose to go back and work in the teaching industry because I wanted to be able to have the same holidays off as the children.
The business classes consisted of and typing, and my top speed was 90, and in my senior year I was the editor of the newspaper for Dublin.
bigger challenge of the profession in thinking that it is a very female-dominated profession and that women are the ones that are supposed to be doing that profession. And so I think the challenge lies in changing the view of who can be a teacher, especially in elementary and early childhood, that we need more males. We need just a stronger interest from both sides for our children to not only see females being teachers, but that males can be teachers too.
In nursing, sometimes there were some based on when different doctors would maybe look down on you a little or think of course they do know more than a nurse, but they wouldn't always listen to suggestions, or we knew more about the patient because we were the one that was always there.
This first infographic shows pie charts of men shown in blue and women shown in red and their typical employment. On the left, the pie charts are data from 1972, and the right shows data from 2012. The good news is that more women are working in jobs that were once typically male-dominated. The second bar graph shows that more and more women have joined the working world over the years, and now make up about half of the overall workforce.
Clearly, we have made progress since the 20th century, so let's take a look at young women who are new to the world of work.
Lindsay McConnell, 16, Mesa, Arizona.
Savannah Shields, 17, Mesa, Arizona.
Hi, my name is Laura Van Vliet. I'm 25 years old and I work as a chemical engineer for a water treatment company in Houston, Texas.
Well, I don't know. I kind of wanted to be everything from like a fashion designer to like a doctor, and then basically everything. So,
A zookeeper.
And, I pretty strongly wanted to be an astronaut for a really long time. Unfortunately, I was pretty crushed when I found out that you had to be at least like 5'4" to be an astronaut. That's not possible for me. I'd have to go through some pretty extensive surgery to get those last few inches.
I want to be a writer.
A medical biologist. They encourage me to do the best that I can in school so that I can get a good college education to eventually get a good job.
But I've always known that I wanted to do some sort of science. So growing up, I just kind of pursued that. It was always something that interested me. I don't know really why, it just did. And I was very lucky to have a lot of really great teachers who noted that and were able to give me some any like extra reading or additional projects for me to work on.
The glass ceiling is the idea that minorities, especially women, can only move up so far in their careers before reaching a barrier from social construct and gender norms. This graphic shows that there are actually more men named John or David that are CEOs than women by any name. More girls are feeling empowered to break the gender barriers and follow their dreams. To continue working towards an equal workplace, we need to encourage young girls to be whatever they want to be when they grow up.
Lauren, and I'm 11, almost 12 in like 5 days.
Hi, I'm Kendall, and I'm 10 years old.
I want to be an Olympic runner.
I want to be an author, a runner, a singer, a dancer, a zookeeper, or an actress.
Have great aspirations, but they can't do it alone.
I think it's just that you have to love it. And I think that goes for anything.
I have very good self-esteem, and I never let anything stop me if I want something.
To just remember, for nursing, just remember it's about the people and taking care of them and caring for them. And in teaching, remember it's about the children.
Take the classes that you think you'll be interested in, but I know a lot of them prepare to be nurses and business associates, which is something girls didn't do back then. We were just secretaries.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I guess my advice to young girls, as well as just people in general, who are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, is to just choose something that challenges you and that interests you.
Realistically, we can't change the general culture overnight. Small wins are described by Deborah Meyerson and Joyce Fletcher in their article for the Harvard Business Review in 2000. They said, "Our research shows that the small wins strategy is a powerful way of chipping away the barriers that hold women back without sparking the kind of sound and fury that scares people into resistance. And because the small wins strategy creates change through diagnosis, dialogue, and experimentation, it usually improves overall efficiency and performance." We have to take small steps in order to change the overall culture that allows for sexism in the workplace.
We are educated on the discrimination against women in the workforce, so we must take the time to educate our peers. Because according to a study in 2010 done by the Journal of Education for Business, college students fail to perceive that gender discrimination might affect their own careers.
Through the interviews we conducted and the research that we did, we found that women do still face discrimination. But we are making progress, and to continue moving towards a fair workplace, we all need to actively pursue equality.